morning to all. I am Shambhavi Singh and this is our class 9C. Before I start, I would like to thank my subject teacher Sweetie Didiji and my principal sir Madan Mohan Mishra sir for giving us a golden opportunity for telling about our interesting chapter, that is structure of atom. Anything that we are seeing in our day-to-day life are made up of atom. As we all know, atoms are the smallest particle of any atom or any matter, but even their discovery happened. Even their subatomic part discovered. Let's see how their discoveries happened and their subatomic part discovered. And on this first note, I would like to call Behan Barsha and Ria for telling about this Thomson's model of atom.
As I am already introduced by her, that I am Varsa standing in front of you to describe the Thomson model of atom. At first, I want to ask you that have you heard of the man who split the atom? Well, he didn't split the atom literally, but proved that an atom is not the smallest particle of matter. Yes, I am talking about the great personality Sir J.J. Thomson. During Thomson time, it was proposed that an atom is smallest, but later Thomson added to this knowledge by proving that all atoms contain negatively charged particle electrons in it. He also informed about that the size of electrons are negligible when it is compared to the whole atom. He proposed that the properties of all electrons are the same. Thomson model of atom was considered in 1903. He considered an atom as a positively charged sphere on which the positively charged particles that are floated over the atom and the negatively charged particles that are electrons are embedded in proton or atom. Now I want to give you a great example of Thomson model of atom, that is plum pudding. It's a cake. Thomson compared his model of atom with plum pudding model. It is also known as plum pudding model. For example, it is a plum pudding or cake. The dry fruits that are embedded in negatively charged particles that are electron and the positively charged particles that are proton are uniformly distributed over it. So it is a great example of Thomson model of atom. Now, why the net charge of atom is 0, and for the explanation of why that Thomson model of atom is compared with watermelon, I would like to call Behan Ria.
According to this model, Sir J.J. Thomson compared this model with plum pudding as well as a watermelon. This model is compared with watermelon because this red edible part was compared with positively charged protons, and these black sheets which are inside the watermelon are compared with negatively charged electrons. And this model is electrically neutral, and because the number of protons and the number of electrons are electrically equal in magnitude, hence the net charge is 0. Now, but do you think this model is perfect itself? Actually, not really. So, for their limitation, or as we can say drawbacks, I would like to call Behan Khushi.
As I already introduced by her, that I am standing here to give limitation or drawback of Thomson atomic model. So, first, limitation or drawback of Thomson atomic model is that Thomson atomic model failed to explain how the positive charge hold on an electron inside the atom. It also failed to explain the stability of atom. Then, second one is that this theory didn't mention anything about nucleus. Now, the third one is that this model was unable to explain the accepting experiment of Rutherford. Thank you. And I would like to call Behan, Shambhavi and Priya for the explanation of.
Now, I am going to describe the Rutherford model of the atom. Hence, we also say the Rutherford alpha scattering experiment. In this experiment, Rutherford used alpha particle and gold foil. Alpha particle is a positively charged particle with charge of 2 unit and mass of 4 unit, which comes from helium ion. And he chooses gold foil because he wanted as thin as possible, and also a zinc sulfide screen. When the alpha particle collides with this screen, it emits light, by which he is able to know that how many alpha particles pass through it, how many rebound. Now, C will explain the observation and conclusion of the experiment, what we get from this. Now, I will tell the observation and conclusion of Rutherford. Let's suppose it has alpha particles from which alpha particles were bombarded. and these as gold foils, atoms. When the alpha particles are bombarded, then most of the alpha particles pass straight through the atoms, means that there is an empty space in the atom, while very few of them were deflected through small angles, while very of them were deflected through large angles. From this, he made a conclusion that there is a positively charged nucleus that repels the positively charged alpha particles. Now, various of them were bounded back and make an angle of 180 degree. Through this, he made a conclusion that the nucleus of an atom is very hard and dense, which repels the positively charged alpha particles. Now, for explaining Bohr's model of atom, I would like to call behind Pooja, Akansha and Sakshi.
Good morning all. I am standing here to describe the Bohr model of an atom. So let's start. Niels Bohr in 1913 modified the Rutherford model of an atom. He explained the stability of an atom. According to Niels Bohr, the electrons which were revolving around the nucleus, there are the electrons which were revolving around the nucleus in a fixed circular path, each orbit having a fixed radius. After that, the electrons which were revolving around the nucleus does not radiate its energy, even though it has co-accelerated under the nucleus. According to Niels Bohr, there are the atoms which were made up of 3 subatomic particles, that are electrons, protons and neutrons. Whereas electrons are negatively charged particles, protons are positively charged particles and neutron has no charge. After that, there are two particles that are protons and neutrons, which were located inside the nucleus at the center of an atom. After that, the electrons which were revolving around the nucleus in a fixed orbit, we can represent it in 2 ways, either by numbers or either by letters. By numbers, it is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on, and by letters, it is K, L, M, N and so on. That's all. Now I would like to call Sakshi to describe more about Bohr model of an atom.
Now, there is limit to the number of electrons which each energy level or cell can hold. For example, the first energy level, which is K cell, can hold maximum of 2 electrons. The second energy level, which is L cell, can hold maximum of 8 electrons. The third energy level, which is M cell, can hold maximum of 18 electrons. And the fourth energy level, which is N cell, can hold maximum of 32 electrons. Now, the formula for finding electrons is 2n square, where n is the number of cells or orbit. Now, each energy level or cell is associated with fixed amount of energy. The cell nearest to the nucleus having minimum energy and the cell nearest or farthest from the nucleus having maximum energy. So, there is no change in the energy of electrons as long as they keep revolving in the same energy level or orbit. The change in energy level can take place only when it jumps from lower energy level to higher, then it gains energy. And when it jumps from higher energy level to lower, then it loses energy. Now I would like to call man Pooja for the conclusion of this concept.
According to the Bohr atomic model, a small positively charged nucleus is surrounded by negatively charged electron in fixed orbit. He concludes that electron will have more energy. It's located far away from the nucleus, whereas electron will have less energy if it is located near the nucleus. Thank you. I would like to call Varsa.
These are the postulates, theory and explanation and drawbacks of Thomson model of atom, Rutherford model of atom and Bohr model of atom. Thanks for watching.